Thailand's frontrunner for Prime Minister says he is open to stepping aside and letting his coalition partner form a new government. Chatmongkol Pissamaigosol has the details.
Election winner and Move Forward Party leader Phue Thai admits the country can't wait too long to have the new government, saying he is willing to give coalition ally Phue Thai party a chance if he fails to become the prime minister in the parliamentary vote scheduled this week.
Phue Thai, whose party scored a surprise victory during the general elections held in May, failed to secure enough votes during the Thai parliament's first round of voting for its next leader held last week. He only acquired 324 votes, or 51 votes short of the required 375 threshold. Of the 324 votes, only 13 of the 249 junta-appointed senators voted for him as the country's next prime minister. His eight-party coalition pledged to make ambitious reforms to the current constitution, but promised not to alter the status of the monarchy. The Move Forward Party leader will seek a second vote on Wednesday, July 19, which will be a pivotal moment for Phue Thai and his eight-party coalition, adding that if he fails again, he is willing to step aside and let Phue Thai take the lead. In a video message posted on Saturday, Phue Thai urged his supporters to help him convince senators to support his nomination during the second parliamentary vote for Prime Minister on Wednesday.
To win, Phue Thai needs to secure votes from more than half of the 749 members in Thailand Parliament's upper and lower house. รายงานจากราชบุรีนายชัดมงคลพิสมัยโกศล SMS ประเทศไทย สวัสดีครับ
At least 4 people were reported dead and a known number of people were declared missing after a ferry carrying dozens of passengers sank in a river in Bangladesh. Anis de Guzman has the news.
A heartbreaking tragedy struck Bangladesh overnight after a water bus carrying dozens of people on board overturned in the Buriganga River and claimed the lives of 4 people. The vessel was transporting passengers across the river when it was hit by a cargo vessel carrying sand. An estimated 50 to 60 people were on board when the incident took place on Sunday night. 8 people have been rescued and sent to hospitals. Rescue operations are ongoing in an effort to find the missing passengers. Maritime accidents are common in Bangladesh, with experts attributing the accidents to overcrowding, poor maintenance, and lax safety standards in shipyards. Riding boats is still common and a popular means of transportation in the South Asian country. In September of last year, another deadly incident struck after a boat full of Hindu devotees sank in the Karatoya River, killing 51 people. Di siya Nanisa de Guzman, Rengan Chakuntep Mahanokon, SMNI News, Phue Thai. Sawadee.
On Sunday, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida left for the Middle East to promote cooperation in energy. Kent Hashimoto gives us updates on this trip.
Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida began his 4-day trip to Arab states by meeting with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to further strengthen the two countries' cooperation in the energy sector.
The talks were held in Jeddah on the west coast of the Arabian Peninsula, Sunday, where the two leaders agreed to share technology in order to support the decarbonization and economic diversification of the Middle Eastern nation. While the country continues to give and provide Japan a stable access to oil imports, Kishida and the Saudi Arabia Crown Prince signed 26 memorandums of cooperation in the energy sector, including one where Tokyo will provide Riyadh with technologies that expand the country's solar power generation capabilities and innovations using a clean fuel source of hydrogen and ammonia. It can be noted that Russia's invasion of Ukraine pushed up prices of crude oil, and during the meeting, the two leaders agreed to reaffirm its efforts to remain stabilized in the global oil market, since 1/3 of Japan's import of oil are all coming from Saudi Arabia. Kishida said after meeting with the Crown Prince, and I quote, "We are shifting away from the existing relationship of an oil importer and an exporter, and will deepen a new global partnership for the decarbonization era," end of quote. Aside from talks concerning the energy sector, the two leaders also agreed to begin a strategic dialogue to further strengthen their bilateral cooperation.
Following Kishida's visit to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Japanese Prime Minister is also expected to travel to the United Arab Emirates and Qatar. 以上、日本からの橋本健人でした。SMNI News Japan。
Meanwhile, a protester abandoned his plan to burn sacred books in Stockholm despite being granted permission by the Swedish police. RJ Perez has the news.
A man was expected to burn the Torah scroll in the Christian Bible outside the Israeli embassy in Stockholm during the weekend cancelled his controversial plan after receiving massive criticisms from top Israel officials and Jewish organizations. Speaking in both Arabic and Swedish, Ahmed Alush told the crowd he had never intended to burn the holy books, but instead denounced the burning of the sacred texts, such as the Quran in Sweden. The 32-year-old protester, who was also the organizer of the demonstration, said his real intention was to show the people that burning another Torah, Bible or Quran in a Nordic country is not right and will only lead to war. Sweden earned condemnation after the Swedish police granted a permit for the protester to burn the sacred text on Saturday. Holding public demonstrations in Sweden is strongly supported by the government and is protected by the constitution under the fundamental law on freedom of expression. But the Swedish police pointed out there is no law prohibiting the burning of holy books, but the police can refuse to allow a demonstration if it jeopardizes public safety or incite racial hatred. Meanwhile, the Muslim community of Malmö, Sweden, gathered at the city's main square last week to protest against the Quran burnings in the Nordic country. This has been RJ Perez reporting SMN News.